Alright everybody, this is the demonstration of Infidel, the new game from GMT. It's Men of Iron Volume 2, so if you've played the older game, Men of Iron, I think it came out in '07, I want to say, something like that, '06, '07. This is a follow-on game. It uses the same system, but they've greatly refined the rules. So if you played Men of Iron, got frustrated with it because the rules just, it left a little bit to be desired. Some of the mechanics involving combat were not really addressed well. And because it was a very new system, that's understandable. There's considerable amount of errata for it, but the developer for Infidel did a great job of cleaning the system up and getting it ready to go, bringing it to the next level. So if you have Men of Iron, you can actually play it with the new Infidel upgrade. There's a PDF file on GMT's website that you can download that will address all the things in Men of Iron and bring it up to the level that Infidel has. Now the focus on Men of Iron was infantry, so if you have that game you know that already. And your cavalry basically usually are going to get chopped to pieces in that game by archers. Now, this game, archery is pretty important, but it's of the mounted variety, usually. Most often the scenarios I play, there's only I think 2 scenarios that I have not played from this yet. Montezard and Arsuf, I haven't played either of those yet, but I played the first 4 in the set. There's actually 6 scenarios, Dorylaeum, Antioch, Ascalon, and Haran being the first 4. I have played those, and they're actually fairly well balanced in my opinion. And there are some things you can do to tweak balance if you feel that one side is less balanced than the other. But having played these a bit, the conclusion I've come to is your infantry don't have a whole lot of use other than to die. There's a few, dismounted archers, crossbowmen, pikemen, and mounted or dismounted men-at-arms, which are very powerful, but it's hard to actually grapple with cavalry when all you have is infantry. So the focus of this game is on the cavalry end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just cover the pieces really quick here. I'm going to zoom in on my map. If you have your vassal module synchronized with me, I'm going to be moving some of the leaders around here a little bit. I just grabbed Sokman of Aleppo and just dragged him into Hex 3220. If you're not familiar with the game system, here's the ratings on the units. The top right-hand number on a leader that's usually in a colored box, red box, with white letters, that's the activation rating for that leader. That's the number you need to roll equal to or less than to activate that leader via seizure or continuation. And I'll explain what that means in just a moment. Basically, that's the mechanic by which you activate formations in the game. The middle number in a circle is his leadership radius. So Sokman projects a leadership radius of 7 hexes. Terrain has no bearing on this particular radius. The only thing that can affect it is the presence of enemy units and I believe zones of control. I'd have to double check the Zoc thing because the Zocs are not nearly as effective in this game system as in, say, simple GBOH or the Great Battles of History system. The bottom right-hand number is his movement rating, which is usually the same as the cavalry that he commands or the lack thereof. So if he's on foot, it's usually going to be like 4. If he's mounted, it's going to be anywhere from 6, 7, or 8, depending on the type of cavalry. I think it's either 7 or 8, actually. The stars on the left just indicate his command stature, whether he's the overall commander or an under commander. The only thing important about that particular element is if he is the overall commander, he is worth more in terms of route points, which causes an army to lose the game. He's worth more in route points than a secondary commander. So those are the leadership ratings. The Muslim army here is Seljuk Turks, and they actually have 3 different formations. The rule book will stipulate what those formations are, what they consist of. In this game, I'm just going to go ahead and put this guy here, stack him in that hex. Karaja of Haran, he is in command of all these Syrian medium cavalry. And I'm going to actually rotate one of these guys around. Let me use this. There we go. We'll rotate him around so you can see him right side up. Facing is important in the game. The top two hexes, hexes 32, I'm going to move this guy so you can see which guy I'm talking about. This Syrian medium cavalry unit, hexes 3227 and 3228 constitute the frontal hexes for this guy. The two side hexes, 31, 28, and 26, those are his side or flank hexes. And the two hexes behind him that are occupied by other medium cavalry, namely 30, 27, and 28, those particular hexes are his rear. So facing is important in the game. The number ratings on the units, up in the upper right-hand corner, that's the shock defense die roll modifier. So whenever you attack this guy, he's going to project a shock defense die roll of -1. Negative numbers in shock combat are better for the defender. So this guy here, being a -1, means he's a pretty powerful guy. And so if you attack him frontally, you need to be aware that this is a higher quality unit than, say, the one below him that has a shock quality shock defense die roll modifier 0. You'll notice that the light archers, let me move this guy around so you can see him. This Turkoman light cavalry equipped with archers has a shock rating of +2. So if you shock attack this guy, he's much more likely to rout, withdraw, become disorganized than this medium cavalry guy, because he's got a +2, whereas the medium cavalry has a -1. So that's usually the most important information on the unit, is his shock defense die roll modifier. On the bottom of the unit, there is also a movement rating. So medium cav have a movement rating of 7. The light cavalry archer above him here, this guy has a movement rating of 8. So that's how many hexes he can move. Terrain has very little effect on the course of these battles, unlike Men of Iron. So these battles here are usually fought in much more open terrain. There are a couple of exceptions like Antioch, but most of these battles open terrain, and the terrain really doesn't have much impact on the course of the battle. Again, because these are cavalry battles, and usually armies equipped with cavalry try to seek out this sort of terrain before they fight. Last piece of information is the unit type, which is usually a 2-letter abbreviation in between the shock defense die roll modifier and the movement rating. So MC is medium cavalry, LC is light cavalry. MC or LC with a /A indicates a medium or light cavalry equipped with archers. So if it doesn't have the A on there, it doesn't have an archer. Also, usually the picture of the guy on the horse will show somebody with a bow and an arrow if it's equipped with archers. This particular Muslim army consists of 3 different wings, 3 different formations. Most of it's light cavalry. There are 2 separate bodies of medium cavalry. Jerkmish of Mosul, this guy here, I'm just going to put him with this stack here. He actually commands the Dashmud light cavalry from here all the way over to the right, and he also controls the Cappadocian medium cavalry. Karaja of Haran has all of the Syrian medium cavalry, and the overall commander for the Muslims, I'm just going to go ahead and put him here. This guy of Aleppo, Sukman, he commands all the Turkoman light cavalry archers. So I'm going to go ahead and have to stop the video here for just a second, so give me a second to reset, and we'll continue. If anyone has any questions, feel free to type them into the chat bar.